Sony recently hosted their 2023 PlayStation Showcase. The showcase has been met with mixed reviews. People have been describing it as bad, disappointing, lacking, lame, and many other negative adjectives. For me personally, I would say it was alright, just alright. I saw enough to be excited about. There were some things that did interest me. We saw a lot of great trailers. Sony also received a lot of criticism for showing many multi-platform games that you'll see on other consoles like the Xbox. Sony also announced some interesting tech as well. People have expressed some worry about Spider-Man, for example, because there still is not a release date yet for it. So let's talk about the showcase, what was shown off, what was lacking, what was good. I'll give my thoughts on a couple of things that interested me the most. So let's dive into it. It's not often that PlayStation fans get disappointed these days, but the May showcase made some people unhappy. It was your typical showcase. New games got shown off, you got new trailers and info given out for already announced titles. Arguably Sony's greatest strength, however, for PlayStation was not present at the showcase. That strength? First-party exclusives. People weren't happy with the large amount of multi-platform games shown off. Fans also complained that there were just too many flashes of PlayStation icons backed up by monologues from President and CEO Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan did respond about his company's efforts. Here's a quote. "Our fans expect and deserve a steady cadence of amazing content. Today's presentation demonstrates our unwavering commitment to offering them the best and most varied catalog of games possible. It also highlights the tremendous popularity and power of the PS5 as the global development community rallies to push its advanced capabilities to the limit." This was basically a neutral comment coming from Jim, and I think that's fine. I don't think he needs to be aggressive or anything. I also don't think Sony is anywhere close to needing to give an apology. They've had a great track record recently, and this showcase, it was okay. Again, it wasn't a train wreck. It might not have been the greatest thing ever. It was okay. I'll focus on the games here in a moment, but I do want to bring up that hardware announcement that was made. A device codenamed Project X was announced. It's basically Sony's version of a Steam Deck. It features an 8-inch screen and a controller attachment for either side. So it will transform from a touchpad to a DualSense controller, essentially. So you'll be able to play games like God of War or The Last of Us while sitting on the toilet. I guess we could bring back the saying cool flex, but okay. I'll give more thoughts on this later, but for now, let's look at the games. And I'm not going to cover a ton of them, not going to mention every single one of them. I'll go into depth on a few, but I'll start off by mentioning some of the others. Immortals of Avium, Concord, Arizona Sunshine 2, Foam Stars, Street Fighter 6, Final Fantasy. Then you have Marathon, a new game being announced by Bungie, and a couple of VR games include Resident Evil 4, Synapse, and Beat Saber. There are others too, but honestly, there weren't many that excited me, and it sounds like a large portion of people could also care less, at least in terms of highlighting them at the showcase. Now, the showcase's juicy stuff came from the trailers for like Final Fantasy, Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 is coming out October 17, just in time for the spooky season. The Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater remake was announced. The game was not shown off at all, but we did get a big mysterious teaser trailer that revealed it. PlayStation also announced the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, which includes Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, which all will come out this fall. The best part of the showcase was the Spider-Man 2 gameplay reveal. We got like 11 minutes of gameplay showed off of both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Peter has the symbiote suit, so a ton of new controls and combat gameplay will be coming, and that's going to be awesome. Miles also has some new flashy moves too, which proves that we're not going to be getting just a reskin of this game. The trailer also revealed a new villain to fight, Kraven the Hunter. The graphics look great. It looks like we're going to have new areas to explore as well. We will be back in New York City, but the game will also branch out across the East River and into Queens. I like the beginning portion where Peter was fighting in the suburban neighborhood area. I think swinging around more than just skyscrapers will be cool. I think it'd be really cool to crash a family barbecue. You know, you swing on in there and you're chasing and fighting a bunch of thugs and you're just ruining the barbecue. I think that'd be kind of cool to have happen. And here's a few other tidbits that we know so far about the game. You could switch between Peter and Miles almost instantly. There will be new combat mechanics and movesets, like I said. Miles will have blue bioelectric powers such as Thunderburst and Chain Lightning. Peter, again, going to be rocking that symbiote suit, so he's going to have a load of new abilities as well. And that suit's combat style, you could expect it to feature some no mercy types of takedowns. Peter already looks and sounds more aggressive and will be able to use new brutal combos. I can't wait to see how the combat is, honestly, like going more into depth. The only thing that disappoints me, honestly, is that there is no co-op. Insomniac has already confirmed that. I think it's sad to hear because this game makes total sense to have it, and I don't think it would be that hard to allow literally just 2 people to play this game online or couch co-op. I do hate that this industry continues to look past those types of co-op experiences these days. However, it's not like I'm not going to play the game. I still plan on getting this game. And this is the type of trailer or gameplay reveal that you want to show people. This stirs up hype. I wish we had a release date, but hey, the way the industry's been lately with delays and nightmare release scenarios, I'm cool with them waiting until they are comfortable with announcing a release date and releasing the game at that time. Another game I want to bring up is Assassin's Creed Mirage. This franchise is literally becoming fast and furious. We keep getting these games and they just feel like the same. Copy and paste with a new coat of paint. Now look, I'll admit, I've played all 3 of the open world Assassin's Creed games, and I've liked them for the most part. The games, however, are just too big. They're too open world for me. And it really seems like they've lost the art and the focus of being a lethal assassin. This game will be coming out later this year on October 12th, and don't worry, there's already special editions and extra DLC you could get if you pre-order the game now, because that's all Ubisoft seems to give a shit about these days, along with many other companies. The trailer was cool. It gave us a look at a younger Basim from Valhalla. You know, this is the character we're going to play as now in his younger days as an assassin. We saw the new setting of Baghdad, which looked gorgeous. We didn't see any actual gameplay footage, but the video focused on showing that stealth action and narrative-driven roots that remind us of the early days of the franchise, like literally from the first 2 games ever. So like I said, we'll be playing as Basim in the 9th century city of Baghdad. Mirage will be significantly smaller in size compared to Valhalla, Odyssey, and Origins, and it sounds like the game maybe will just be taking place in the city and perhaps some surrounding regions. Mirage's gameplay is supposed to be taking the series back to its origins, a focus on social stealth, fast parkour, and agile assassinations. A modern version of the original game in the franchise honestly sounds good to me. Give me the city as a playground and leave it like that. Allow me to dive hundreds of feet off of a building to assassinate a target. Bring me the smooth combat and other gameplay mechanics from the most recent 3 games into this one, and Ubisoft could have a fantastic game on their hands. Because the one thing I'll give them credit on, they've been great with creating their worlds for this franchise. And again, rather than creating thousands of miles of a world, just make one super detailed and in-depth city. The narrative aspect of these games has always been interesting in my opinion, so I'm confident that this game is going to knock the story out of the park again. If this game could be more of a parkour deadly assassin game rather than a gigantic open world RPG, then I think most fans of the series will be happy. Hell, it might bring back some of the old fans back into the fold that have left because they didn't really like the new open world RPG style. So here's my final thoughts now. Like I said earlier, this showcase was kind of lackluster. We did get some cool announcements and some trailers and, you know, them revealing some games. It was cool. That's always an exciting thing. But again, it felt like the excitement was limited. You know, people were hoping to see Insomniac's Wolverine game. Nothing on a Ghost of Tsushima 2, which I know a lot of people are hoping for. I'm hoping for one day. There's still nothing on the Last of Us multiplayer game. No big IP debuts other than Bungie's Marathon game, which again is a multi-platform game. Now, you won't ever see me complaining about multi-platform games on this channel. Yeah, it's easy to say that when I do own both consoles, but I have always hated the console war stuff, and in a way it does kind of suck to have to invest $1,000 into 2 consoles to ensure the possibility to play any game. So like, I'm not really against the whole, like, I'm not with the people that are like, oh my god, like I can't believe there's multi-platform games here. I just don't think Sony should be in too much hot water because they've done a fantastic job with PlayStation for quite some time now. My biggest concern and gripe with this conference is the lack of big-time next-gen experience games. Both Sony and Microsoft have spent years hyping us up for the next generation consoles for this generation and even the last one, and it's like, where are the games at? I've already complained about how I never say, whoa, now this is a next-gen experience on the Xbox. And honestly, nothing besides Spider-Man in this showcase made me say, whoa, I can't wait to play this next batch of true next-gen games. I don't mean to be a jerk to indie games and third-party games, but I hate how these big-time corporations are using them to make up a large chunk of their new games and just, oversaturating the catalog with games. And meanwhile, big-time companies keep pumping out games from the same franchises that, at this point, are anywhere from 10 to almost 20 years old. I'm also tired of technology being the main focus too. Project X is cool, don't get me wrong, but I want new games that are really cool to play on my console. And I want people that are going to eventually buy this Project X device, whatever it's going to be called when they officially release it. I want people to be on their toilet going, oh my god, I'm playing a game that looks and feels like it's next gen, that really looks and feels like a 2023 game or a 2024 game or whatever year this thing's going to come out. People want to play cool games, whether it's on their console in their living room or their bedroom, or they're playing on this Project X thing on a plane or on vacation somewhere. I honestly love where we are in the industry in terms of technology. It's the best it's ever been. But the games never seem to live up to the hype. The games never seem to reach that high level and be as cool as the technology. Cool and successful, I should say. So, before you make me spend another couple $100s on another gaming device, let's get back to making really good games consistently. So yeah, the PlayStation showcase was alright. It could have been better, but there was some cool stuff there. There was enough cool stuff there to keep me excited for what's to come. Let me know your thoughts on the showcase. Tell me what you liked and what you didn't like. What games you looking forward to playing in the future? You can also find me on Twitter and TikTok at analyzethis_YT. Thanks for watching and take care.